Hey everyone, it's Libby from Meister Tarot. I'd like to acknowledge the Worimi First Nations people, that's W-O-R-I-M-I, and welcome to you, your guides, my guides, and the universal energies. Yes, the little bit, but boy oh boy, it's a 3 to 4 peg day on the washing line today, so it's really windy. Yeah, a little bit late today because I did 5, or was it 6 loads of washing. Yeah, that's what happens when you've been away for a while. Okay, entertainment only. Just want to remind all of you to actually breathe to start with. Breathe, get out into nature, enjoy the small things in life and the things that bring you pleasure. Work on your community, be there with light and love, and I have put some really interesting videos over on my post section. Go to Meister Tarot under any video, or the little pink circle that's got the painting in it. And it'll take you to the main page and go to the post section. And there was one there from a ex MAGA cult member who is talking about how we need to not hate on the ex-cult members or even the cult members themselves, and remember not to come out with told you so or anything like that. Just be a beacon of light, be the example that you want to lead. And while I'm talking about getting out in nature, oh yes, the little it's bendy dog there. Yesterday I harvested my garlic. Yes, we are going into spring to summer here. 28 degrees Celsius today and blowing from the north, so the washing's drying really quickly. But yesterday I harvested my garlic. Now how's that for a beautiful garlic bulb? It's not quite, it's a little bit of soil staining that will come off when it dries, but gotta love it. And so I've got 2 big bread crate trays of that, and I will be harvesting a second round of coffee. So coffee beans. So yeah, absolutely. Get out into nature and do what you feel is important to you, whether it's in hobbies or whether whatever brings you joy. Okay, where do I start with today's readings? As I said, entertainment only. I do actually want to start. So there's a few things that have come across my table today. First of all, a lot of information coming out about the generals at Quantico yesterday. There's some leaks that have been coming out from supposed top brass making statements, and trust me, the military does, or aside from Hegseth, the military does not leak unless it's deliberate. And the leaks are talking about how disgusted the military were, etc. And I get the feeling that the partners, wives and husbands and partners' cell phones were burning hot after that particular meeting. Now, the reason why it's the partners is because they aren't traced as then there's Sneaks disappearing up the hallway there. Aren't traced, burning up after the meeting. And I'm really, walking away from the disgusting show that was on, the self-sabotage. Someone mentioned under a video about that the 2 dudes on stage wore more makeup than their wives. Well, between them, they've had 6 wives and known to be wife beaters as well, allegedly. But yeah, walking away in disgust from this blatant display of abuse of power. And standing stoic, looking at the opportunities that they have. I'm talking about the top brass, the military here. This can be the mercenary card, but what I'm really feeling here is they are looking at their options. Now you've got to remember, these top brass, they've been through combat. They have years of experience, like decades of experience, knowledge, intelligence, ability. They have seen presidents come and go, and they know what side of history they want to be on. What else happened? Letitia James, the New York Attorney General, is suing the Homeland Security for apparently the $34 million that was due payable to the Metropolitan Transportation Authority has been withheld by the Homeland Security. I don't know why it got held by Homeland Security. She's suing there. And I just want to mention, so Cash Peters, who I adore, I love Cash Peters, has done a reading on the passing on his Enlightened Beings Club on Charlie Kirk. I'm sorry, Cash, I'm going to have to disagree on your assessment of Kirk, of CK, in regards to that reading. I know you don't know who he is, but anybody who follows attacks on minorities, women, gays, trans, Muslims, etc., blacks, etc., will know what an evil force Charlie Kirk is. He saw himself as a Christ God figure, but no, he wasn't. If anything, he was one of the antis. So, okay, just putting that out there. Interesting reading though. Right, now what I want to have a look at in this particular reading today is Trump RX, you know, the capital R with the little X underneath, which basically means a pharmacy. So what's happened is the Orange Twerp has put 100% tariff on medications and drugs and supplements, etc., that come in from overseas, where the majority of them are manufactured overseas. I think in Australia, I didn't look up the actual figure, but I know we export to the US billions of dollars worth of drugs and supplements, and India is a major supplier as well. And we learnt this during COVID, where our drugs come from and where the components of them come from. Anyhow, so apparently he put 100% tariff. Then Pfizer entered the picture, and I wonder whether there is rumour that there was a sort of a brown paper bag handed under the Oval Office table. So Pfizer has obtained a 3-year exemption from the tariffs if they set up or are involved in a government online pharmaceutical sales site, or whatever you like to call it, dubbed Trump RX. We know how he likes to stick his name over everything, from airways to stakes to universities to casinos. Just for him, it's all about the name, the branding. Okay, so, but apparently, so the way it is that they then guarantee that they will be selling their products at 80% less. Ergo, there's a 20% extra profit in there for them. So if they don't have to pay the tariffs, there's an extra 20% profit. 100 minus 80 is 20. So apparently the Pfizer stock are up 7% now. Yeah, there was money handed over. There's money to be made. There's grifting. And here we've got those that supported it absolutely flung out. They must think the people are stupid. However, we've got the lie here, the delusion, the constitution, or is this about the wealth, the lazy wealth? And then we've got the ending. So I don't know. Those cards just literally flew out of the deck at me while I was talking about this. I'm going to have a bit of a closer look. So there is something underhanded. Something smells in Denmark, to quote Shakespeare in my terrible manner. Let's have a look. Did oh gosh, they've told me to stop shuffling. They got the cards already. Did Trump receive a payment to exempt Pfizer? Let's have a look. Come on down. Right. Did Pfizer pay Trump for this deal? Oh, okay. They may have been backed into a corner in regards to this. So we've got the Nine of Wands. I think they were made. Let's see where it goes. It's almost like they were backed into a corner. Okay. Betrayal, heartbreak, loss, despair, the challenge. It's also my treason card. But interesting cards. Now, swords can mean specialists in their field as well, often doctors, intellect as well. I think the challenge is the stabbing through the heart of the intellectual property. that put them in this position of despair. This is interesting. I was expecting money cards to come straight out. So did Pfizer, I mean, how quick was this deal made, which says to me the deal was made before the 100% tariffs were put on? Because I think the 100% tariffs were only put on last week. A deal doesn't come together that quickly for something like an online pharmaceutical company. So I don't feel that this was, it feels like premeditated. Okay, at the foundation we've got the Ace of Wands, a new plan coming forward, a new messaging coming forward, a big stick messaging. Let's see where this goes. In the past, yeah. In the past is an offer in the past. So I'm really getting, what I'm getting is that this deal was done before the 100% tariffs was put on. There's no money cards yet. Let's see where it goes. And we've got the Seven of Cups, which is about made an offer of choices. I just heard either you do it or we'll go elsewhere. They were given pretty much a choice that they couldn't. Something to do with the intellectual property here. Okay, I just heard that they were threatened with having their intellectual property stripped. Now, the Orange Twerp has come out and said that the US citizens, taxpayers had funded a lot of research, which we know. I mean, every country does exactly the same. But usually what happens is it gets shared because the taxpayers, it's like insulin. The guy that developed insulin put no patent on it so that it could be made by anybody who had the recipe and to keep the price down. But why am I feeling that they were threatened to have their intellectual property stripped? Okay, the immediate future, looking at the options, the financial options, the inability to harvest or disappointment in the outcome. I mean, people will probably go to Mark Cuban rather than Trump. Externally, it was always all about the money, but this is a fool's gold offer as well. A fool's gold offer. Look at these two aces side by side. Big stick, fool's gold. Internally, looking overseas, but the ship's not coming in. There's no ships on the horizon there. Remembering that the majority of medications and made in Canada and Mexico and India and Australia and all sorts of other places, the ships are not coming in internally. The plan is in place, but the ships aren't coming in. Hopes and fears, the fool, the foolishness of it, some sort of warning, walking off the cliff. We've got here the higher authorities making a ruling. The deals done behind, financial deals done behind the scenes. And on the back having to defend themselves. I don't know that Pfizer are going to come out this particularly well. I mean, the only money cards we've got is the Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Ace of Pentacles. And none of them are particularly joyous, having to defend themselves about this agreement. The fact that it's had the Orange Twerp's name put on it just really makes it smell. If we keep going, we've got the Two of Swords and then the Two of Pentacles. There might be some sort of legal action come forward about this money deal, this money fiddling and the stealing. Seeing what comes up next. I don't think the people like this. Okay, you've then got the King of Swords, legal action being taken. So there's a decision that needs to be made about the manipulation, and it is not going to end well. Oh boy. You've got the Star, you've got the Emperor, and you've got the Ten of Swords. This is not going to end well for Pfizer, is what I'm getting. The fact that it's been dubbed felon pharmaceutical, Trump RX, there's alarm bells on so many levels. Now, I know people need to get their medication from somewhere, but it's... Okay, how's this going to play out for Pfizer? I think they made a big... It feels like they made a big mistake here. How's this going to play out for... Okay, let me just ask the question first. Was Pfizer threatened if they didn't... I mean, Pfizer is the most well-known US pharmaceutical provider. Was Pfizer threatened to have its intellectual property stripped if it didn't? Was Pfizer threatened to have its intellectual property stripped? Right, the Emperor, my way or the highway, dictator, an agreement that was made because they, there's that card again. A reluctant agreement was made with the Emperor because they were threatened to have their intellectual licenses, property, whatever it was, in regards to medication stripped. You've got isolation, the Hermit, can also be investigation. Investigation, and this is the voters, perhaps the voters, and then we've got that big stick again. Okay, I'm going to say yes. That's what that line is telling me. Yes, they entered this agreement because it was threatened. Then you've got the Chariot, the inability to move forward or the chaotic movement forward, and the Tower again. Don't know that anything that this guy touches doesn't seem to end up. Okay, I just heard that he is insanely jealous of Obamacare. Now, it's called the Affordable Care Act, but it's been nicknamed Obamacare. He is insanely jealous, and that's why he's so determined to destroy the Affordable Care Act, because it has Obama's name on it. Okay, how's this going to play? Oh, gosh. Ten of Swords and the Sun card just flickered past my view there. How's this going to play out? Is this going to get off the ground? Is this? How is this deal going to play out? Just heard that the Orange Twerp licensed his name to it. Seriously? How's it going to play out? Right. Page of Wands. Information is coming out about it. There's this announcement being made. It's not action, it's an announcement that's made. Claimed as a victory, but it's a false victory. So the challenge, nobody's cheering for it. Everyone can see through it. How's it going to turn out? Not liking what's on offer, almost rejecting what's on offer. We've got the Eight of Swords in the past. I suspect Pfizer had no choice in this. And there's the Emperor dictating. Disappointment in the offer. Disappointment in... This is the energy they're stewing in. I'm getting the feeling that, so the orange twerp claiming it as a victory, but it's a very uncomfortable false victory with this announcement. And I get the feeling that Pfizer was made an offer they could not refuse because their intellectual property was under threat. Yeah, the immediate future is news about the offer that was done in the past with the Six of Cups there. The Knight of Swords, a harsh truth coming forward very quickly, rushing into battle, and then moving. I got moving production overseas. I mean, the whole plan idea, theoretically, the reason he's selling it is to bring manufacturing back to the US. Or this could be moving on from this deal. Acting rashly and moving on from the deal. Pfizer might pull out of this. Hopes and fears, illusion, smoke and mirrors, choices to be made, Queen of Swords, legal action. Desperately trying, the felon might face legal action, desperately trying to hold on to the money, but out in the cold, fool's gold, chaotic, inability to move forward, and then the wheel of fortune turning for those that chain themselves to the devil, being replaced by temperance and justice. We've got here the Queen, the Empress. And then we've got the Judgment card. Look at these. What? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 major arcana to end with. Oh, there's that King of Swords on the bottom again. We've got the Nine of Cups. Be careful what you wish for. You've got the orange twerp. You've got the foolishness, having to defend against the manipulation. Those that thought they were feathering their nests out of it are going to end up in going down. Okay. What a mess. Expect there will be some legal action over this. I don't think Pfizer were very happy to be given the offer that they can't refuse. Is there going to be legal action over Trump? Oh gosh, smell that garlic. Yeah, one of the parties, I think Pfizer actually might end up walking away, and they're going to bring the whole thing down. Is Pfizer going to walk away from this deal? Now, you also got to wonder who knew about this and made some, because it's going to be too big a burden for them, just chaotic burden. I wonder who knew about it before the stock went up 7% as well, in my sarcastic tone. Okay. Is Pfizer going to walk away from this deal, leave this deal? Is Pfizer going to withdraw from this deal? Let's have a look. Is Pfizer going to... Right, big wake-up call. Looking at its integrity and some secrets being revealed, or the hidden agenda, or just stepping into its higher self. Kind of, yeah. Four of Pentacles, desperately trying to hold on to its money, or its position, or its integrity, because this is it, looking at its integrity here, in the face of this betrayal, intellectual property betrayal. And there's a whistleblower coming out. Always a whistleblower that will change everything. Someone's going to spill the beans about this deal. I can't get... I don't think Pfizer are in this necessarily voluntarily. I think they were handpicked, because they are well known. Didn't they cop a massive barracking with the COVID vaccine or something? I think they were handpicked, and basically, if you want to keep your intellectual property licenses, give me some money and let's do this deal, that sort of thing. Anyhow, entertainment only. The garlic smells amazing. I'll just show it off yet again. Isn't that a beautiful looking bulb? Can't wait. Can't wait. Okay, got 2 whole bread trays of them. Love to you all. Take care.